Hello and welcome. Welcome to my work. I'm author, narcissistic abuse recovery expert, strategist, and coach, Grace Rolson. Are you pushing family court on a narcissist? I was in a 12-year family court battle with my narcissistic ex. I lost some, won some, lost some, won some. And as my lawyer said, the only one that wins in family court typically are the lawyers. So it's not a one size fits all. I teach from my experience. So this is my survivor wisdom. Take what you like, leave the rest. Just a quick disclaimer, I'm not an attorney. This is what happened to me. You might have different circumstances. So this is shared survivor wisdom and not direct advice. I'm a survivor and I like to educate moms on all the different potential outcomes. I'm here to educate, encourage, and empower women and mothers. Learn all you can. Knowledge is power. My background is loving and leaving an alcoholic, only to end up in family court, finding out from my lawyer that my ex is a narcissist, which is why he was never satisfied with any of the court orders. And what narcissist do you know wants to follow anybody's rules or guidance or authority figures' advice? So court orders didn't always give us even if it was on a piece of paper, it didn't give me the results I was looking for. So I'm going to ask you some hard, powerful questions. Just so you know, I say read my story 1 through 6, from co-parenting with a narcissist, 7 rules to stay sane, because you're going to need your sanity through the insanity. And then if you're in the fight, I have how to fight a narcissist in family court and win. Watch out for that win word. I talk about why that can be potentially harmful to your whole situation, your child, yourself, and keep the battle going, all the way to tame the narcissist and 10 keys for better co-parenting, creating peace and protection using strategy and skillful means. Nowadays, I teach staying out of the war, stepping out of the war, stop being the target of blame, learning how to deal and cope with unfairness, because sometimes if you go to family court, it's just another unfair situation and they can't right the wrongs. My newest is wisdom for ending the co-parenting war and custody battle, so you can heal and be able to help your child. When you're in a war, there are casualties, there's paper bullets that fly. It can feel like psychological warfare, just trying to keep your kids safe and prevent injury and protect and stop or even just prevent child abuse. And the family courts, as I learned in the US, are not in the business of child abuse protection, prevention, or child protection from abuse and neglect. So unfortunately, that's not what they're there for. And here we are as moms, and that's our greatest calling to our children. So all my books contain tips, tools, and strategies. Now we have peaceful cooperative co-parenting. It's not perfect, but it's regular child support at the highest amount. 50-50 everything, but more like I have 85% of the time. She got her school back, she got all of her activities back, and then some. And I could take her anytime I want, and she can go to friend's house, and she got her phone back and her therapist back. So my situation, I say, was a miracle, but I prayed for a third middle way, and that's what I teach now, is a third middle way, because going to family court in my situation made the narcissist take more parenting time he didn't want. He went to court because he didn't want to pay child support. So he thought if he got half custody, full custody, he wouldn't have to. And then in my state, even with 50-50, there was child support going to be paid to me as a lesser earning parent. So if you are pushing family court on a narcissist, like, is that really the right move? As a strategist, we sit down, we look at all the details. It's not a one size fits all. Even though I don't give advice, I pull out some of the cases that I have seen where moms are trying to get child support from someone who doesn't want to pay and is totally absent. And if the narcissist is an absent father, we have learned that limited exposure to an abuser is better than unsupervised time with an abuser and lots of it. So if the narcissist is a narcissist lacking empathy, lacking the ability to have compassion, or care for another person or animal, is that really the right place for a young, vulnerable child? Even another adult, even us, are so affected by the coldness and the lack of empathy. And that's something they don't have, because narcissistic personality disorder is a personality disorder. So we're going to get disorder with a disordered person. So moms think, oh, I've got family court and they order child support. Well, so guess what? The narcissist may not follow that order or not pay the child support. And then the burden's on us to push with a lawyer, which is expensive and stressful, to get that child support paid. And are we really, helping our child when we are so stressed out? That's, we got to think about why they say gray rock and no contact with a narcissist when you're in a relationship and ending a relationship. It's because they're toxic. You don't want to be constantly involved with a toxic person. And that's why my first book is about staying sane, because you're having to co-parent with somebody who's toxic, crazy, and disordered, meanwhile pointing the finger at you and triggering you emotionally. So, if you're trying to get fairness through the family court system, you may be shocked to know that they can't contain, force a narcissist to do what a narcissist doesn't want to do. There might be an order, and then the narcissist doesn't follow it. So just know that it's not a straight line to a judge. So if you are going after a narcissist for something, plan on a counterattack. That's why they say if you push the narcissist money button, I want child support, or the child needs your financial support, they will say, oh, I want custody. That way they don't have to pay. They have control over the mother, and it's an ego boost if they win. And they will do things often to win at any cost, lie about the mom, make false CPS claims. That's what I was just dealing with this morning, helping a mom understand what's happening in her situation as the narcissist escalates the drama and kicks it all up, and then it spins out of control. So, like, one of the antidotes I teach to this is using maturity. So just think that there might be a third middle way that you learn to cope and handle the unfairness with life, and not try to seek justice and go in a war when you've got a young, vulnerable child that needs your protection. Now, if you had an 18-year-old that could fend for themselves and leave a toxic person, that's different. And that's our hope as moms, is that the children can grow up safely with less trauma. I'm not a therapist, but I know that the less trauma a person has in childhood, the better chances are of being a capable, well-adjusted, healthy adult. And those who have been severely abused, severely traumatized, they have a lot of healing to do, just like we did from this relationship. So think twice if you are going to family court trying to get fairness. They usually can't handle it. They don't know who the liar is. Narcissists often hire the better lawyer or lie to win. So you might be blindsided when he says, oh, let's not do it with lawyers. You show up and there he's got a lawyer. So I've seen all kinds of things that and stunts and tricks and traps and manipulations that a narcissist can use on an unsuspecting, loving, caring, protective mom. So use the survivor wisdom to really think this through. It's okay to consult with a lawyer. I think you have that constitutional right to seek representation. But just know that typically the narcissist doesn't want parenting time unless it's to get off the hook of some child support, to control the situation by controlling the kids, to punish the other parent, to boost their image if the child is a golden child. So there are reasons that a narcissist will go after parenting time, but it's not typically to be a giver, a caretaker, a loving person that's going to care for a child. They're usually a self-focused, selfish reason. And so you have to think that through when you've got young, vulnerable children involved. And so that's why I teach moms to sit down and strategize or read some of my books and really see the dynamics out there. Family court can backfire. It's backfired for many of us. Sometimes it's helpful to get things like I got her therapist back using family court and another motion and contempts, and I stood up to the narcissist in family court, but that kept the war going. What I really needed to do was understand that he's personality disordered. There will be disorder even with a court order, and I can't get fairness from an unfair situation. I had to accept those things and stop being the narcissist enemy and target of blame. Stop trying to punish him, make him do the right thing. I had to stop and do the right thing, which is take a higher perspective and say, okay, this is causing so much stress, 12 years, financial devastation. Our child lost when I lost. And so how do we stop being pit against each other in family court? And the lawyers do this, which should be unethical. Family court needs a full reform, but it's really hard to change a court system that's set up while you're in it. It's like something that we have to do through our nonprofits and our awareness campaigns and our advocacy and our new legislation that we're pushing through. And right now we have to accept that it's a judge with biases, a judge in charge. Lawyers lie, lawyers twist. Sometimes a narcissist will lie to their lawyer and their lawyer will go with it like it's the truth, or the narcissist won't tell their lawyer they have a criminal record. And so the lawyer's pushing for things that the narcissist won't even get with a judge. And that can be very upsetting when you see the narcissist go after sole legal and physical custody when he's been absent and only like said hi through text message on Christmas. So in cases where the narcissist has ghosted the children, there is pain, and there you may have to get healthy male figures like therapists, mentors, coaches for the children, or step up into those roles and understand that you can't make a narcissist do what he's not even capable of doing. If you think asking the narcissist to be a healthy, giving, caring example of a male uh, father, and they're just not, you have to check that your expectations or what you want doesn't match reality. And so pushing in family court to get the narcissist to be a great dad might be something that you have to work on within yourself and grieve, and that the child doesn't have that as a real biological father, that he'll never be that. Narcissist will never be that as a real biological father. But there are father figures and male substitutes that children can look up to and learn from, and they may need a healthy male role model from some activity. It could be music, could be sports, could be a male therapist. So you may have to get creative and ask for support and find something else for your child in terms of a father figure, an example in life. But just check yourself. If you are pushing family court and then the narcissist lawyer, which this is what happened in my case, the lawyer and the judge said, "Sir, why are you coming here if you don't want more parenting time?" And that was about in the middle of our war. And then from that point on, he had to ask for more parenting time to keep taking me through court and all the illegal abuse. So he was getting parenting time he didn't want because the courts and his lawyer was saying, hey, you got to do this. In the end, it all shaked out when I used skillful means. That's what I teach now. I use all those higher level principles of non-attachment, non-resistance. And now his mother and his father do his parenting time, and the child lives with his mother and father because he really didn't want all the time that he was forced to try to take or go after by the ongoing family court battle. So think about that, because many of us moms have made the mistake of pushing family court just to get fairness for us, child support for the children, only to find out that it is dysfunctional. The family court's not set up right. It's not able to deal with these toxic people who won't follow orders. It can be a real letdown, and there's family court failures. They call them horrible outcome cases. They're some of the worst situations for children. And then narcissists just want to win. And so often they will just keep going to win, especially if they lost. So go check out my Winners Backlash videos. I have hundreds of videos on here. To help the protective, loving, caring mom. And you can learn my skillful means tools. You can practice some non-resistance, which stops the tug of war and the ego battles. You can stop attaching to outcomes. Like if you're pushing that you want something and you want the judge to order it and you're so attached to that, sometimes what we push for it we'll never get because there's so much energy around it. Like, have you ever asked the narcissist for something that you dearly, desperately need, but you're his enemy? Well, guess what? Not giving it to the person that's desperate and withholding, they know hurts that person and weakens that person's position. So a narcissist, when they view the mom as an enemy, can do a lot of things that are shocking and absurd and uncalled for. So we need to understand who we're dealing with. And I do have a video called Know the Narcissist. I also have all these guides, these individual guides are in all 6 of my books. So the How to Communicate with a Narcissist Using Skillful Means, I believe, is in Tame the Narcissist, so that you can get a different understanding. I have a blog. You can see if my message resonates with you. You can like and subscribe to get more videos. I do have peaceful cooperative co-parenting, regular weekly child support at the highest amount with my ex, and he willingly gave that. And it was a miracle, but I created a third middle way because fighting in family court only brought us more war, and giving up and backing down didn't serve my child. So I had to learn to advocate for my child instead of my child's wants and needs and rights, instead of asking for things for me. I have this great video, Position Yourself for Successful Negotiations with a Narcissist. This is all explaining why you don't want to be the narcissist's enemy or opposition, which is why I say, moms, get your legal game, get some consultations. I have a Get the Right Lawyer guide in a few of my books, or as an individual guide. And you understand why having a lawyer and having somebody to legally advise you is a strengthening move and can help you avoid mistakes in court, because we can't be our own lawyers. Even lawyers get lawyers. Even therapists get therapists. So I know we're capable, but we can't, and we wear many hats and we juggle many balls in the air as single moms and moms, but we can't be everything to our custody case. So we have to learn to ask for help. Skillful means, I believe, is the way to go. Getting strategic stops some of the stress. So if you don't have strategies, you could work with me or read my books and be really thinking about how to approach this strategically instead of with emotions like anger and rage and hurt and pain. That can all be dealt with therapists and DV counselors and a support team to emotionally support you through the unfairness. I do have a podcast on Spotify, Navigate Around the Narcissist. I talk about neutralizing, disarming, de-escalating, not beating, destroying, or defeating the narcissist, because that can come back to bite not just you, but the child. So you can listen to some past episodes. I have a free Navigate Around and Neutralize the Narcissist Substack newsletter. You can sign up for that in the link below. So remember to really think and deeply reflect and step back from the battle so you can learn, heal, and grow with me as Grace. Keep being a great mom, and I'll look for you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching and listening.